Hey everyone, my name's Scott Tarbox. I'm an artist working and living in Houston, Texas, and today's video is very different from the usual ones I do. I've been wanting to put out more content lately, but since I'm a full-time artist and my YouTube isn't monetized, it's been a little difficult to find time to always be able to edit and shoot everything unpaid. I thought that maybe if I started doing some of these long-form videos where you're just sitting with me as I do a drawing, start to finish, that could be a way to supplement. It's not necessarily a tutorial. There are some tutorial elements, but it's more of a stream of consciousness thing as I go through the process. And I am curious to see what y'all think. If this is something you're interested in, maybe I can come up with some other ideas or just wait till I have time to do the normal videos. But anyway, I time-lapsed through some of the areas where I'm not talking as much to streamline it, and I hope you guys enjoy it. This is my third time trying this. I forgot to record the first time, and then the second time had it on autofocus, so it kept focusing on the drawing and then my hands. So hopefully it'll work this time. This is a monthly thing I do where I am doing a small drawing for Patreon, and what I tend to do right now is more free-form stream of consciousness drawings. I usually plan everything, but in these it's just kind of whatever I think of. So right now I'm thinking of a lawn gnome with rainbow stuff coming out of his eyes or mouth. I've been kind of on a rainbow goop kick lately, so we're gonna go ahead and just lean into that. So starting off with a button nose. Part of this is definitely because I have this little lawn gnome in front of me right now. While I'm not gonna necessarily make him look exactly like the guy in front of me, he's definitely part of the inspiration. Giving him a thick mustache, and then I kind of want to make him scary. Bushy eyebrows, of course. Let's see, how are we gonna do the eyes? Let's make them unwelcoming. Pupils. Giant pupils. One thing I noticed is that I tend to make... Now he just looks cute. Oh well, we're gonna stick with this. I tend to make the same faces that I'm drawing a lot of times. I planned on this guy being scary, but now I'm starting to think I just like him being cute and unassuming. Maybe we can make him scary in another way. Intentions for these is, since they are giveaways, one of the intentions for these is that they're supposed to be a little bit simpler, fast pieces, so I don't want to get too carried away with the details and all that, but sometimes I just will. Third eye. I'm gonna erase some of this mustache so that it connects better. And I'm thinking about giving him... Alright, so we got him lined in here, and I'm thinking about giving him some spider legs, but I don't know. I really didn't have much of a plan for this guy. Bless you. Bless you. We're gonna give him teeny tiny little legs. Try to find like a chest here. Hips. Maybe this hand has a bottle of ale. Change the angle on that, make it a little bit more out this way. Draw the bottle first. Alright, so we've pretty much got the sketch done. He's, I'm gonna give him a huge backpack. A lot of times I won't line in all the details here as sketching, because I kind of know what I'm going for. It's more, sometimes it's just like a marker for me to remember, you know. Like I said, I was gonna make him scary, but now I just ended up making him more of an adventure little dude. To like a little bird. His beard. Fat bird in his beard. I think we're good. We'll watch on him. Yeah. For all my colored pencil pieces and ink pieces, I use microns. To do the outer outline, I use different thicknesses based on how big the piece is. These are pretty small, they're 5 by 6 inches. So for these, I use a 0.5 millimeter, but it doesn't super matter, but that's what I like to use for this size. And then on the inside, I'll use a 0.45, which again is not big of a difference, but it's what I prefer. So I'll use this on the outermost line, and I'll push down decently hard just so that it's a consistent weight. And one of the things I like about microns is anything, like even if it's not a brush tip, there will be difference in weight if you push down a lot versus a little. And so the order I usually do this in is that I'll outline the entire piece and then go through and erase all the pencil lines before I do any shading with the ink, because once you start erasing, if you've already inked, it will erase some of that ink. So already done with the most outer outline, and then we come through with the 0.45, which is what I'll use second. So again, like pressing hard when it's at the bottom there, and then the lightening up on my pressure as I get to the top to create some variation in weight. A lot of this will be really obvious for some of y'all. This is, you know, just a new type of video I wanted to do so that I could release videos more often. It's difficult for me to edit those longer form videos as often as I would like to and shoot them. So I thought that this way, doing a video like this once a month would allow me to fully release videos twice a month. And you know, I'm just not exactly sure what all people might be interested in, but I thought this would be a good way to create more videos that people could watch if they want to, that show my process and how I do drawings and certain types of art. I plan to keep it colored pencils for a little while, but could do painting ones later as well. Although I do plan to do some actual long format videos of me doing paintings as well. But yeah, some of the advice that I'll give is probably really obvious to some of y'all, and some of y'all not at all, but I'm just going to go ahead and talk through the things I do, the things I've learned. Cool, and that's that for the outline. Now what I'll usually do is come through and erase everything, we have a clear and clean space to work in. And it'll often highlight spots I could have missed, like that. Oh, and the watch. Yeah, like I said, these are meant to be quick little things that kind of get me out of my comfort zone, and just I'm so used to when I do projects, like everything I'm drawing is for a finished product, something to sell, for a commission, or I don't draw that often just to draw. And so I took this opportunity of doing these giveaways on my Patreon as a chance to do more drawing like this just off the cuff. And you know, sometimes it yields surprising results and gets me to draw things that I might not have thought of otherwise. Like the one I did for March is something I think is really cool. I experimented a lot. The third step is just to add shadows with the black. I used to go a lot heavier. I'd put like this darker shadow on the bottom here as like a step in the scale of darkness, but I stopped doing that. And that's one of those things that, you know, there's a lot of things as artists that you either like stop doing or start doing and can't necessarily decide if you like it better or worse. But I think the important thing is that you're always experimenting and open to trying new stuff, because sometimes it's driven me crazy before whether or not I thought adding or removing something was a good move for my art overall, and that can be frustrating, but I think that that's still a healthier point of view to have, because then you're open to change and, you know, growth. And I think that's important so that your stuff doesn't get stale. All right, so now we're on to the stage where we will do all the shading with the dark lines. So like I said, I used to use this to do a lot more shading. I would use the black as like a step in the scale of whatever color something was. But now I usually just put it underneath stuff, so I use it for actual shadows only. And I think that subtle use has ended up becoming a better option. My older pieces were just a little too black heavy in my opinion. Also, I think when I get to coloring this guy, I'm probably going to make his eyes just whited out. I don't really like the way his pupils look, personally. So we're at the color stage, and I like to use Carandache Pablo colors. I used to use Prismacolor, and I still like Prismacolor. Something about the way these go onto brown tone paper though, I just really like. These are the colors I'm going to use for his skin. And I tend to go light to dark. Sorry, dark to light with colored pencil. I think I go dark to light with most things except for stuff like watercolor. Stuff that's harder to be opaque on top of because maybe that's obvious, but the reason there is that I think it's better to put the dark down, and then you can kind of actually render the piece with the light. So especially with spray paint, you can start with a dark color or even black, and then you literally using the lighter colors to act as light, giving it form. So typically with most of my pieces, if it's a larger piece, like a big painting or something, or a mural, on my scales of color will be 5 steps. And then with something small like this, I usually just do 3. It just depends. Like with this, there's not a lot of room to fit 5 shades of a color into every area. Sometimes when it's small like this, you'll have the same colors in a bigger area and you can fit that. Yeah, I try to do at least 3. This pencil might break. I think my dog got a hold of it, so it's I mean, I hope that's what happened. I certainly didn't do that. So I always try to do, you know, pretty saturated, pre-pigmented area of whatever color I'm doing, and then leave some lightness as and then as I'm extending out of that color, leave some area that's a little lighter so that there's some ease to blend into it. And even like right now, this lightest color is a little harsh compared to the rest. Yeah, so I'll do a chunk of it really hard, and firm, and then a chunk of it not as saturated in that area so that the next color can blend into it. And then typically I'll do a color, then a light color, and come back and reblend backwards, like I'm doing here with this middle tone, just to reduce how hard the cream color is on top. That color, I haven't decided. I think I'm gonna do like a green glow out from his eyes, and then make them white on the inside. I'll do that when I get to the gel pen stage. I think I might make his beard rainbow colored. I may make all of him rainbow colored, actually, everything else. So I have this little test strip here that I like to use to test scales, to see how the colors look next to each other. That's pretty good. Alright, so we're gonna do a rainbow on almost everything he's wearing. You can see how I left the dark red there, not super saturated, so it made the middle red a lot easier to blend into it. And then I tend to keep whatever colors I've used in a piece handy to the side, so that if I need to go back to them, I know where they are, because I have a ton of these pencils and it's easy to lose them, or lose track of them. It's easy to lose track of them. Oh my gosh, my camera stopped recording and I didn't hear it turn off, so we have skipped ahead, apparently, and I'm on to the rest of him, where I'm using a lot of dark grays and stuff to add a lot of contrast to the beard. The beard being all these different colors and his skin being skin tone, I wanted to give a lot of pop. One of the things I had said earlier was that the purples, for some reason, in this color pencil palette, it's really difficult to find light purples, and a lot of the dark like mid purples are actually pretty dark themselves as well. So I end up using pinks for the light colors a lot of times. And yeah, I'm pretty much using dark grays for everything else except for a couple of exceptions, being his jeans and belt, the map, little patch on his bag. And around when I was putting the green in the beard, I decided to actually make the white around his eyes, or sorry, the glow around his eyes from green to white. It still looks green here, but you'll see when I fill the eyes in white, it'll look more white on the outside, I believe. Now we're just on to the last step, which is the gel pen. Sometimes they're difficult. With me, they'll not put out pigment as well as I'd like them to, and then sometimes they work great. I think it's that certain colors they struggle to go on top of more than others. But I really like the way that they add a certain pop onto color pencil pieces. If you try to cover a surface area that's too big, sometimes you can mess it up by using a gel pen, because going over it too much, it'll start to lift up the white instead of putting it down. With these eyes here, hoping it'll cover everything up and look how I want it to. Yeah, with the white, you kind of have to just be happy with it covering mostly, because if you try to cover too much, it'll start lifting. I could come back with a paint marker here in a minute though. Get it really white, which I may do. That's pretty much how I want it, but it could be a little more opaque. One of the many things I've changed over the years doing this from how I used to do it is that I used to, once I finished here, I'd come back with a black outline and re-outline everything, because if you see that the colored pencil tends to go over the black outline. And I was like, well, that looks muddy and I want to make it more crisp. But I've decided over time that it looks better this way. Like it actually, I think, looks more blended and how I'd like it to look. Which is cool because, I mean, ultimately, it means the other way is more work and has a less desirable outcome, in my opinion. So yeah, just doing this paint marker to get a little more opaque on the eyes. And there we go. A little rainbow warrior. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider leaving a like or subscribing. Both those things help my channel grow a lot. And you can find links to my Patreon, shop, Instagram, all that down below. Next video I have coming out pretty soon is one where I'm going to Austin, actually tomorrow, to paint 3 murals. 2 are inside, and the one that's outside is, I think, my biggest mural ever. So I'm pretty excited about that. See y'all in that one.